Child, I just met the sweetest little girl in Target, girl, but she had on the most fucked up ass wig I have ever seen in my life. I wanted to tell her, young lady, I don't think that that's supposed to be. I don't think your, wig's supposed to be all the way down here, boo. I don't know. What is that girl from Housewives of New Jersey? The Good Ice girl? Shit. Girl, you need to pull that shit back. And look at me, like I got the audacity to talk about something right here. And I done hit y'all with the blicker.
Turn my headphone down a little bit. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Let me tell you this. For all you people who believe that, hell, I can walk my ass down to social services anytime I want to because I put into the system. You know, I made my money. You know, I gave to them. I'm going to tell you all true facts. And I'm going to hurt your feelings. And I apologize in advance. But ladies and gentlemen, you ain't contributing to a motherfucking thing. Because if you think about it, all the money that you put into the system, my love, was given back to you during tax time. Threefold. Let's say this, because when I was working, I was making about, the last income that I made was about 65, something like that, thousand. I think the highest I grossed on one year, I think was like 72,000, something like that. So I don't know what it's like to be a six figure. You know, that ain't my life, right? It's my wife's life, but it ain't my life. And I'm gonna tell y'all, you know, until you've made $72,000 a year and you don't have no kids, you don't know what it's like to contribute to the system. Because I'm going to be honest with you ladies, you know, who believe that y'all contributed to some shit, right? If I'm making $72,000 a year, how much do you think of that is going into the system? When I'm a single person, 30% of that is going into the system. So that's $21,000 of my income is going into the system, and I still owe money. I'm going to pay homage to my mom, right? Because at a very young age, my mom instilled to me, you make sure you get a job with benefits. Now, let me say this, that because where I'm from in DC, the come up was always to get a government job. So my number one goal was to get a number one job with benefits, right? Great benefits, so that I can retire and sit back like a fat rat in a cheese factory, enjoy what I put into the system. Because I don't have no kids. You know, when you're a government employee, child, they take your money. They just be like, oh, give me your money. We gonna keep it over here for you. They don't ask permission for a motherfucking thing. Okay, they just be like, that's your money. You know, we gonna take your money. We gonna hold on to it. And basically, how the system work is they pull your money so that you can take care of the federal employees that are retired now. Just like the government employees that, are working now, they're going to be paying my pension. That's the way it works, right? So I was like, fuck it. Y'all taking like $200-$300 from a paycheck without even asking a bitch. What? I mean, I know that in my future, you know, I'm going to need it with my old ass shit. I am old, right? Additionally, my mama always instilled in me retirement, baby. What you want to do is be able to retire early. And because we have heart problems in our family, you know, as females, I always knew that I was going to stop working around 50. You know, it was just that I was blessed enough to know how to fuck up and not down. Some of you bitches, you know, like I said, y'all find Leroy in front of the liquor store and marry that motherfucker just so you can say y'all married. Like I said, it's a generational curse. So moving on, right? So my mom taught me how to put money aside in an extra fund just in case something happened. So not only did I have a pension, but I had a retirement fund. And listen, whenever you get a new job, ladies, all you have to do, I don't give a fuck if it's Lowe's, I don't give a fuck if it's Target, I don't give a fuck if it's People's Drugstore, wait a minute, CVS, I don't give a fuck where it is, I don't care if it's House of Pancakes, I don't give a fuck where it is. If they have some type of retirement package, you need to be contributing to that motherfucker, okay? Because I don't give a fuck if it's, I don't know. When I was working for Lowe's part-time, I was I think I was contributing like how much of my check was I contributing? Like 20%, something like that. Cause I didn't need the money. I just was addicted to fucking retirement. Like I'm thinking to myself, oh fuck, just in case some fuck shit happened, I need to make sure that I got some money in the bank. Some fuck shit happened, and I was able to pull from one of my retirements and survive for comfortably for 9 months. The only thing that I had a problem with was I had to pay for my insurance out of pocket. Luckily, I was able to find a company that I was only paying like $200 a month. But then whenever that little extra money that I put aside for the fuck shit, when that money started dwindling down, I said, oh fuck, I got to go back to work. Shit. I don't want to go back to work. You got to do what you got to do. And again, I got full benefits. And when the goddamn retirement was available to me, because this job, you got to wait like a year, you know. Some jobs, you get retirement off the back. You know, that retirement option to contribute into your retirement off the bat. This job, you had to wait a year. It depends, whatever it is. Nobody should be getting a goddamn job where there is not a retirement package in place. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen with you, love. You're going to work till you die. You know why? Because you don't have things in place that's going to take care of you when you get old. You're not going to be able to pay your rent. You're going to have to live you're going to have to live in a retirement home that, I mean, by God, that shit is going to be Cabrini Green, okay? And if you comfortable with being in your 80s and living in a place that's not safe for you, God bless you. I want to tell you people for you to know something. You know, certain little small things that I know you never have 2 car notes at the same time. You know, as soon as you can, buy property. You know, as soon as you can. Because the reason why is because, and this is the biggest thing. This is the biggest piece of information that I'm going to give y'all that y'all need to know. Especially for people out in those urban areas that, you know, you got a lot of foreclosures out there, a lot of empty homes. Back home, Baltimore is an example. I think Detroit is an example of it. As soon as you can, you buy a piece of goddamn property. You hear me? You pay that property off. Because what you can do, you get a 30-year mortgage, right? You take that 30-year mortgage, you pay an extra mortgage each year for 20 years. That house will be yours in 20 years, okay? Do not get an ARM, because I got an ARM on one of my homes, or my condo, and I had to let it go. So I had to let it go, because when that ARM kicked in, child, all hell broke loose, because I was one of the people who made a mistake and brought my home. Actually, me and my wife did it. We both did it, you know. But me and my wife, this is when we was, you know, just dating each other. But me and my wife both bought a home at the peak of the mortgage. And when that shit crashed, it killed us. Therefore, we both had to foreclose on our home, because we were paying like $2,000-$3,000 on homes that were only worth $60,000. My home was worth like shit. By the time they got, my home was like worth $100,000. Her home was worth like $200,000. You know, so we had to learn that. They're giving out more loans where it's like, you know, where you pay principal off the bat. And I know this is going over some people's head, but trust me, this is in a mortgage where you just pay just straight out. You don't have to pay the interest first. You know, those are called ARMs. But you pay that mortgage straight out, and you'll be able to pay your mortgage off in 20 years. In 20 years, you can be able to sell your home. Now, 20 years, it'll be a point where you're like, you know, where you're getting older and you want to chill out. Child, I told my wife I want to go back home and live in this place called Riderwood. Child, it's for the rich white people, and I want to live there. My wife was like, fuck that shit. But, you know, she was like, I'm just going to buy you a plantation house, right? You get old and you can't work no more, you sell that home, okay? Because I'm sure that the money is going to increase. You know, you're going to profit off that home when you sell it, because you buying it for one price, but as the market gets better, you're going to be able to sell it for maybe 3-4 times the amount, right? And you go into you a nice retirement home where you ain't got to worry about your kids treating you like shit, you know, using all your damn prescription pills. Now, don't buy a property that's way outside your range. Nobody should be in a property in this day and age paying more than $1,000, and you know you ain't got it like that. Okay, because the bank will tell you that you could afford like a $3,000 mortgage, and for real, your ass can't even afford fucking $700. Don't listen to the motherfuckers. They ain't your friend. I wanted to say something else too because I left this part out. In my other video, I spoke about Medicaid when I said that because I was always fortunate enough to have great insurance, so I was able to get therapy. One of my commenters responded, well, you can get therapy with Medicaid too. And this is what I want to say to, like the people that receive Medicaid and, are fine with Medicaid. But I want to say something, right? The only people that are truly taken care of when it comes down to Medicaid and, the different components of Medicaid or the MCOs of Medicaid, I think it's called MCO is managed choice. It's like a HMO for regular insurance, but it's for Medicaid, right? And the only people that are really, really taken care of appropriately are children. I'm going to say this, I had several years in experience as a probation officer, and then I've had several years in administrative work for the medical industry, right? And I worked for some very, very prominent agencies or, corporations. Like I used to work for Children's Hospital, I worked for Georgetown, I worked for a psych clinic, I worked for, I was an assistant manager for a medical office. But at any rate, when the young lady said it, I said in the most respectful way I can, don't be fooled, young lady. There is nothing about adult Medicaid that is preventative care, okay? And that's just real talk. My Judy, who was on Medicaid for a long time, she basically got to be 47 years old and never got a pap smear. I was like, how is that possible when these hussies been checking these boobs since I was 39? Now, why aren't they checking? And that's because Medicaid is not there. It's not a system that wants to take care of you and ensure your health. It is a system that just want to just keep you healthy enough so that you don't die, so that you can take care of either yourself or your children. Okay, please be advised with that. So, I did not mean any disrespect when I said, Medicaid. I've always had good insurance. It's just that I know for a fact that a lot of insurance or a lot of providers do not accept Medicaid. I don't know why. Honestly, I could not tell you the reason why. Honestly, I don't know if it's because they have a lower pay scale. I'm not sure. But a lot of providers let's say, of the best providers don't want to be bothered with Medicaid. And you all are forced to stay in like a circle, Now, there's so many different components of it. Like I said, MCOs, like back home we have Americaid, AmeriHealth, DC, something like that. We have like so many different Medicaid components, but you all have such a strict list of people that are allowed or that receive or that utilize Medicaid for payment that you're not always getting the best care. I receive certain preventative care that someone with Medicaid does not. So again, I am not being disrespectful. I am not trying to hurt anyone's feelings or act like I'm better than someone else. I'm just telling you, from my experience and what is going on. So I hit y'all with the blicker with this hair, huh?